Yo, yeah, I know what it is, man. Q, real sports talk. You know what I mean? My brother Cash forgot to put my handle below my face. You know what I mean? So I feel the
Oh, that
love.
sounds crazy. Yo, you gotta
Oh
chill. You
damn,
starting this already?
this is how he's starting. This is how he's starting. But yo, y'all know, and for that we gonna take a shot. You know, we started over with a shot anyway, but we have to talk a lot about the Giants today. There's a lot of topics because there's nothing really to talk about this season anyway. You know what I mean? I'm not even
Yeah.
rocking their logos or anything
It's
like
next
that.
time now.
So we're gonna take a shot. Let's see what the hell goes on. And this shot is just also like a prayer. You know what I mean? I'm gonna take this shot as a prayer, hoping that the next decisions that come and are made by this organization are good and move in the right direction because us fans, we're tired of this shit. We're really tired. Like it's gotta stop. It's gotta stop. So hopefully these two shots, Cash, is what's gonna start the movement and march us in the right direction. Salute, my brother.
Salute. Oh man. Yes, sir. Yo, pause. It feels good. Feels good to be back. Want to welcome everyone back to Drunk Sports Talk, New York's new #1 sports talk show. We are the voice of the streets. Allow me to reintroduce myself. It's your boy Cash. You already know who just blessed us with the toast. You already know who that dude is. You already know who riding shotgun. You already know who got the other double barrel ready to let shit off, man. It's my boy, the one and only, the incomparable Q. And we are back.
Yes,
It
sir.
feels beautiful, long overdue. Sorry I left you. Peace to everybody who's been a fan of the show. You'd be surprised, man. I got a lot of texts and calls and shit like that. Yo, why you not doing the show? Come on, we got to do the show. And I'm like, I got too much going on, but we got to feed the people. You know what I mean? We got to give the people what they want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Like
feels
it's
good.
always good to take a little bit of a little woosah break. You know what I mean? But since it started off with me and you, and I'm not saying all the other people that helped us along the way, like
Facts.
Ed and obviously, Preem and Jay. They're gonna
Shout
be
out to
still part of
Preem,
the
shout out
show.
to
You know what I
Rock.
mean? Shout out to
Yeah.
everybody. Who's been here, whether you still gonna come back recurring or you know what I mean, like you moved on to something better. You know, man. But like this show for us, even though we took a break, this is also like a release for us as well. You know what I mean?
sir.
So it's still a good way to get our frustration across. You know what I mean? And just out there in the world instead of keeping it bottled up. Like look at Eli. Eli's looking like. You know what I mean? He's tired of the last.
stress.
You know what I mean? Eli's looking like he's tired of the last 8,
Let
9
me
years
in.
himself. You know what I
Let me
mean? He's
in.
like,
Let me in.
Yeah, he wish he could find a fountain of youth right now.
Let me in, and we're gonna. I think next show we'll talk about Eli's Hall of Fame. We were gonna talk about it this show, but excuse me. I think next show we'll talk a little bit more about Eli because I think Eli deserves almost like his own, almost his own show, so to speak. And maybe we'll get maybe we'll go live and have some people, tap in or whatever. But yeah, shout out to Eli. He's made the semifinals for the Hall of Fame once again. We need to get Eli in. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But today, like you mentioned a little while ago, I'm making sure all my stuff is right. We're here to talk about it seems like every time we do the show, this is the life of a New York fucking sports fan, man. This shit is insane. Yo,
Right? You
we're here to talk
consistently
about
the bearer of bad
turmoil
news.
and
Consistently the bearer of bad news.
Yeah, facts. It's like turmoil, heartache, disappointment. All the adjectives you could think of that just make you feel like crap is how we are. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're talking about the motherfucking Giants, man. Shout out to Knicks. We still got the Knicks, and we getting ready to tap into the Knick universe shortly because I think this might be. I'm not gonna talk about Giants too much, but look, let's get into the Giants. Look, so long gone are the days of Brian Dable, who, towards the end, there was so much vitriol and hate for him. it was just snowballing, getting out of control. Listen, Brian Dable, who I don't, in my heart of hearts, don't believe he was a bad coach. I just think it went left for him, for whatever reason. Um, we'll get into that in a minute. Gone are the days of Shane Bowen, who, to be totally honest with you, I was never happy with that hire, especially on the heels of what happened with Wink Martindale. I, as a Wink guy, that situation was really messy with him and Dable. Whatever happened with him and Dave's, you could almost make the direct correlation that shit started to kind of go downhill after that situation. You know what I mean? We had that really good year where we made the playoffs, 9 wins. Daniel Jones looked a little decent. Brian Dable won Coach of the Year. We beat Minnesota in the playoffs, even though we got spanked by the Eagles. Our defense looked really good. I liked the way Wink. I loved Wink's aggressive defenses. His blitz packages. Throwing the kitchen sink at you. So whatever happened with him and Brian Dable, you could kind of make the case that after Wink left, and I'm not saying this Wink is the only reason, but shit started to slide downhill for a little bit. But that's neither here nor there. So now Shane gone, Dable's gone. We are left with interim head coach Mike Kafka, who he's shaking his head. We'll discuss a little bit later. Is is Kafka a real viable option? For the head coach candidacy of the New York Football Giants. We don't know. It doesn't look like it, but we don't know. There's still a couple of games left. But if I was a betting man, I would probably bet the answer would be no. But that's neither here nor there. Whenever a coach gets fired, you always hear about two things. You always, whenever it's like this, whenever a coach gets fired and you're searching for a candidate to replace him, you always hear like the run of the mill two things, right? You get the retread head coach, you know what I mean, who's been around the block. He might have won a championship, or he might have taken his team, to the playoffs a bunch of times, and he's like kind of like the old school guy that you've seen him on the Cowboys, you've seen him here, you've seen him there. He was an OC here, he was a quarterback coach here, whatever. The retread guy, and then you have the other guy who's like the young guy, the prodigy, the OC under, like the OC under an established head coach. You know what I mean? The guy with fresh eyes, the innovative guy, the progressive guy. The boy genius, if you will. Guys like Matt LaFleur comes to mind. Sean McVay. You know what I'm saying? Baby Shanahan. You know what I mean? They all coached under Big Shanahan. You know what I'm saying? Guys like Ben Johnson, who's doing really well in
Chicago.
in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? You see the way he came there and almost instantaneously turned the program around. And you see it, when you look at situations like that, you see, damn, the right coach is important. People go, oh, you got to have the right players. Absolutely, you got to have the right players. But you see a guy like Eberflus leaves there. Ben Johnson comes in, and it's totally different. The Bears is hot right now. You know what I'm saying? And the Bears look good. You know what I mean? Guys, but back to that. Guys, like I said, Schottenheimer. He's up and coming. He's a son of his father. You know what I'm saying? Who was a really legendary NFL coach. Guys like him, even guys like Chip Kelly, the young, innovative, progressive type of coaches, and then you have like the retread guys, right? Those are like really like the two types of coaching candidates that we always look at. I say that to say this, and I'm going to get into your opinion. The New York Giants, right? From what I've been reading, there's a couple of really good candidates on the board. They're reportedly eyeing Los Angeles Rams defensive coordinator Chris Shula. Chris is the top candidate. I think he has from what I read, he's emerged as the betting favorite. You know what I'm saying? He's highly regarded in the league. He's considered a rising star, like I just mentioned in the NFL. He's the son of a legend, a super duper 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 legend, Don Shula. Anyone knows who Don Shula is? He's one of them niggas. He's royalty. You know what I'm saying? And you see what the Rams are doing this year. Rams is cooking. I know they lost last week. I get all that, but the Rams is cooking. They look good. Obviously, you got to give Sean McVay a lot of that credit, but Chris Shula is doing his fucking thing. That defense looks spry. They run that 3-3-5 nickel defense, which I like a lot. dropping back extra back in coverage. Look, under Shula, the defense is one of the top units in the NFL, giving up the fewest points per game. Like I said, he has deep NFL ties. He's the grandson, not son, grandson of a legend, Don Shula. I think, I like him personally. You have some other guys that they're talking about, Lou Amarulo. They're talking about the DC from the OC from Seattle. My opinion, I like Shula so far from the names I've heard. Shula comes to my mind, and I go, yeah, I think that guy could tighten up our defense, because we'll get into the defense in a minute, because we have a lot of the defensive pieces on the board, and we all know that.
You talking about the head coach, right?
Yeah, but I'm talking about a defensive-minded head coach to come in here and put a DC in place, but really,
we haven't had one since what? Bill Parcells?
What, a DC defensive head coach? Yeah,
no, a defensive-minded.
Defensive-minded head coach, yeah, absolutely. Well,
Tom Coughlin was like both. He was never like a defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
who else?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah,
Who? Because Spag was just an interim.
Yeah, Spags was our DC. But listen, he's under Sean McVay tree. I like him. Like I said, Lou Amarulo, he's been mentioned. Granted, he has experience. He was a DB coach in several places, Miami, Notre Dame. I think he was even with the Giants a couple of years ago. He went, if you remember, Lou went from a hero to a zero with the Bengals when the Bengals had this vaunted defense a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
They made the Super Bowl run in 2021. Remember that shit? Mm-hmm. But then got fired when the Bengals defense was basically a bunch of turnstiles. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was just running roughshod on them. He goes to the coach, and what happens? He goes to the Colts, and what happens? He's on top of the world again. You know what I'm saying? So this game is funny, man. I want to talk a little more about that. You heard Mike McCarthy, who I like, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about Mike McCarthy in a minute. But you are the GM of the Giants, not Joe Schoen, because we don't know if Joe Schoen's going to be here.
I'm about to.
We don't know. I don't want to.
I'm about to say. I'm trying to keep my own job, buddy. Like
we don't know. I would either say Shula or Mike McCarthy, and I'm not going to get into the reasons why I say Mike McCarthy now. I'm going to let you cook. If you were the GM of the New York Giants, who would you be looking at?
And I hear rumors, and there's two, and Mike McCarthy is one of them, right? And the other one, which I feel like is going to be, you put him on the screen, which is oddly enough, is Mike Tomlin. And it's funny because like those are the two people that I would really like, because I've seen Mike Tomlin's success, and that's why I didn't put him at the top of my list, only because I don't think he's leaving Pittsburgh. And you know what I mean? Like I know they did all the fire chants and all that stuff. Look, he's been there for like 18 years with the same, like he's almost did a whole corporate job with the whole, you know what I mean, with the whole organization, man. Like, he's doing a Bill Belichick. I don't know if he's gonna jump right back in and start coaching a whole nother team after that whole tenure with the Steelers. You know what I mean? Like, he may want to just take a break or do whatever it is. And he's been dealt some bad bones too. Like, he hasn't had the greatest team to be working around. Like, we know he's a great coach, but we also know that he's able to get to 500. We need a quarterback to do a way above that, because 500 or more, that'll get you. You know what I mean? The AFC, I think, was the AFC West or something like that. AFC South, the AFC West
or
North, like his division.
Whose?
The Steelers division, because
the AFC North, AFC North,
AFC North, So you know what I mean, like. You may make it to the playoffs with a 500 record, go 9-8, or you know what I mean, win 10 wins.
You got Burrow and Lamar in that division, and we don't know what Shador's going to be.
And our division I think our division is tougher. Right now it may not seem that way, but we have healthy.
It's on the come up.
Healthy all the way around. The NFC East is one of the toughest divisions. You got the Eagles, the Cowboys is playing, and the Commanders are having an off year because Jaden Daniels, you know what I mean? It just sucks he got injured that way.
Debo's been hurt. There's been a lot. They've been banged up over there. Yeah,
it's been a lot, Yeah, and then the Giants being the Giants without the fucking right parents You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You know what I mean? Fucking telling their children what to do and what time to fucking go to bed. You know, so
Facts.
I
With
don't think
them running
he's
them up.
leaving, but I would prefer, and my main reason that I would like Mike McCarthy, because they're both similar players. Like I think even if you look at their career stats, like as a coach, it's only a couple more wins. I think maybe like 10 more wins. You know, Tomlin has over McCarthy, but I think what gives McCarthy a little bit of an edge is because he dealt with Dak Prescott, who's a mobile quarterback, and he also dealt with the Dallas Cowboys, and he had astronomical years. Like he came in there and they had 12-5. Like it almost made it look like, and I don't know if it was the coaching, but you can't, like, a team just can't be unself coached, right? You know what I mean? You can't just lose Jason Garrett. The year before that, they looked like they were sliding down, and then he went in there, stepped in, and they had just that many wins, right? So, and that's a big town. You know what I mean? That's a big corporate, big eyes, bright lights. That's that type of team, the Dallas Cowboys. I think he would just fit in better here, and we need somebody who could handle that pressure, but also be able to maintain the type of buffoonery that we got going on in this locker rooms, going on across all the way down from the head coach, defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. Like there's so much shit, you know what I mean? And we'll talk about it later with the general manager. But there's so many people that it just looks like when we play other teams, and then how like you look across the what I mean, like, and this is like, I'm putting a reference, you know what I mean? Like we're talking about, like, we on the sidelines coach to coach, and we looking at the Giants, and we're on this sidelines. Man, when you go out to like whatever functions and shit, and you out there and you see parents letting their kids fucking run amok, yo, those are the Giants. All right, when your kids are the ones that are fucking, you know what I mean? Like they go, they go down the slide, and they go right back to the bench and just play down. And when you call them, they run to you and just say, yeah, what's up, pop, smile, like what you need, like, you know what I mean? That's what it is, and that's what the Giants need again. That's because, like, they didn't, like, there was a lot of good things that the Giants did do, and I think that Mike McCarthy, being as well, well known, not well known, but like so much, experience in the coaching business, and then at least he did two teams, right? So, and he did really good with the Pack. Obviously we know what he did with the Packers. He won a Super Bowl, and look what he did with the Cowboys. Like, and just to do that with the
Cowboys,
I think he did a really great job with the. I think he got fired prematurely, in my opinion. And look where they're at right now.
Dealing with Jerry's not easy.
Exactly. And I think over here he'll have a little bit more leeway, but other things need to change that we could talk about. But I just prefer, in my opinion, Mike McCarthy, and I think he'll be able, to provide these guys and build a support cast around him to be able to dictate and make these guys work at the highest capacity, man. Because that's what we really need, man. We need somebody who can fucking school these little youngers right now.
Yeah, I listen. I agree. I like the young, fresh, new it guy in Shula. I definitely like that. But if, like I said, the way we started off, right, the young-minded, progressive guy, the boy genius versus the retread. You know what I mean? The established retread. If we're talking retread, Mike McCarthy, I agree with everything you said. He brings the, and same thing with Mike Tomlin as well. I don't think Mike Tomlin. It's hard to say, man, if they're gonna get rid of Mike. He like you said, he's been there for so long. He's never had a losing season thus far.
It might be his first.
It might be his first, but he builds culture. Like Mike Tomlin's a no nonsense culture type of dude. I think he would come here, and I think he's a defensive guy, right? I think he would come in and he'd get that defensive straightened out. He's a player's coach, right? You know what I'm saying? Mike Tomlin, when he first came with the Steelers, looked like he was playing with the chain out, with the pulling up in the truck with the 22-inch rims. You know what I'm saying? I think he could relate to players. I think he could straighten a guy like Abdul Carter out. I think guys like Brian Burns and Sexy Dexy and all these guys on the defensive side of the ball, could kind of relate to him. And I think defense is his wheelhouse. And I think he was also. Yes, he's a player's coach, but he's also a no-nonsense type of guy. I definitely think Mike Tomlin, if they were to release him, or the Giants would have to trade for him, whatever it might be, I think Mike Tomlin becomes available. You go get a Mike fucking Tomlin.
Oh
He's
yeah,
he's one of them dudes. You know what I'm saying?
without a
A lot
doubt.
of people think he took over. He took over the Steelers. Who did he take over the Steelers for? What's my man's name? Bill Cowher. Took over the
Yeah.
Steelers for Bill Cowher. A lot of people think he won the Super Bowl. Kind of with Bill Cowher's team, kind of like Gruden did with Tony Dungy. You know that? I don't think that. I think he's a phenomenal coach. He's a Super Bowl winning coach. I, you know, where do I sign for Mike Tomlin? Now, in terms of Mike McCarthy, you hit it on the head. Super Bowl winning coach. He knows how to develop a quarterback. Had two of the greatest quarterbacks ever in Favre and A-Rod, right? You know what I'm saying? For you young boys, you're looking at Aaron Rodgers now. He's a shell of himself. Aaron Rodgers 12 years ago, skill-wise, and this is no hyperbole, skill-wise, he might have been the best quarterback I've ever seen, skill-wise. The way he was elusive, the throws he can make. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers was a bad motherfucker, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not
think of like Patrick Mahomes on crack.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. But back to Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy, look, Green Bay did his thing, kind of wore out his welcome a little bit over there. LaFleur kind of comes in, takes over. Still did a hell of a job at Green Bay, Super Bowl winning champion, right? Goes into Dallas, does a good job, man. Does a good job in Dallas. Now, the knock on him was they couldn't win the big game, but listen, it's not easy dealing with Jerry. Mike McCarthy's record as a head coach is 185 and 123 with 2 ties, right? That's in the regular season. A percentage of 608 in the postseason, right? I think he's 11. What is he? I gotta look it up. Is he 11-11 in the postseason?
Who?
I think Mike McCarthy. I'm not sure. I gotta look it up again.
Mike McCarthy.
He's proven. This is what I like about Mike McCarthy, right? He could come in similar to Tomlin, structure your franchise, reassert the culture. One of the Giants' problems is, and you can see it very clearly, there's no leadership. What?
It's lost.
It's lost, and there's no leadership, and the culture seems in disarray. You know what I mean? I think Dable was too much of a player's coach. I think he was more their friends than being strict. Now, I see Mike Kafka trying to, kind of restore the order a little bit. You know what I mean? If I'm Mike Kafka, I would have benched Abdul Carter for the whole game. Fuck the first quarter or whatever the fuck it was. Before that he got in trouble.
2 first drives.
Yeah, what is all that dumb shit, man? Bench him up. You know what I mean? Especially because he's not performing. Don't worry, we're gonna get to Abdul Carter in a minute. And I like Abdul Carter. If you go back and watch all the shows we did, I advocated for them. Am I lying? I said they were gonna draft Abdul Carter, right? I said he's the right pick. Making me look bad. We're gonna get into Abdul Carter. Back to Mike McCarthy. He's the type of coach gonna come in. He's gonna rebuild your team. Gonna change your culture. He kind of, who Mike McCarthy kind of reminds me of a little bit? He has that Tom Thibodeau type of deal. You know what I mean? He'll come in, great at rebuilding, getting your franchise back in the mix.
Can't get you ever to the biggest game.
Can't get you over the hump. I mean, now don't get me wrong. He has gotten them over the hump, but since then, he's that type of dude. I definitely like Mike McCarthy. I wanted to circle back to a couple of candidates, man. Lou Anarumo. It's hard for me to say his name. I like him. I kind of shitted on him earlier. I talked a little bit about the Bengals. He's a defensive guy, right? 4-3 base, right? I like him because his defense has versatility. It's complex. Complex coverage schemes, aggressive. Only thing I don't like about him and I don't know shit about fucking defense like a defensive coach is not super blitz heavy. I'm like a blitz. I'm like Riverboat Ron. You know what I mean?
Man, I like
Riverboat Ron. Let's go.
I like the winks. I like the Spags. You know what I mean? And that's who Wink reminded me of. I like the Spags,
right.
but Wink didn't have the good secondary that we had. If Wink would have been here right now, man, the Giants' defense would be totally different. Man, he would have been saving everybody's job. He probably would have won the head coaching job.
Yeah, Lou Anarumo. He's kind of like almost in that Joe. He's better than Joe Schoen, but in that Joe Schoen kind of, bend or break the secondary. They stay on the island. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't be mad at him either. But if you ask me, it's Mike McCarthy. It's Mike Tomlin. I don't want to talk about Belichick. I think the game is past Belichick by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
If they
can't.
hired him,
Yeah.
listen? If you hired him, he has name value. First of all, he has name value. He has 6 Super Bowl rings. His run was unprecedented. You know what I'm saying? Some of his defenses back in the days were insane. Talk about having a defensive guy as a head coach. Bill Belichick is the quintessential defensive guy.
Are you going to be that GM that says, nah, yeah, we can't interview Bill Belichick? I don't fucking know.
I know that it seems like there might be. And then he won, right? Obviously, he's under the Bill Parcells tree. Won some championships as the Giants DC. Started off in the Giant organization. Has a relationship with the Mariners. If I'm not mistaken, he gave Brian Dable a ringing endorsement because remember there was the whole thing with the text messages. It was the Brian Dable and Brian Flores. Remember that shit? And something happened with the text messages, got mixed up with some shit. That was Belichick.
And that's who I wanted. And obviously we're not going to be able to get Flores.
Yeah.
You know, he's all suing the league. But I originally wanted before Dable, I wanted Flores. You know, but
Brian Flores is an option. I think he's an option.
But he still has that lawsuit pending, man. You think the Giants ain't gonna be trying to?
You got to interview Bill Belichick and PR wise. Last year, it came out that he called the Jets at the last minute and begged for an interview. I don't know if that's true or not. But if you have a shot to get Bill Belichick, regardless of what's going on in North Carolina, regardless of the little hot broad he's running around with him saying, I don't give a fuck about none of that. I don't think it's going to be a distraction, regardless of the last couple of years in New England. If you got a shot to get Bill Belichick, you bring him in for an interview. If at the very least, just to pick his brain on what type of team, you know what I'm saying? Just pick his brain when you're in the interview. What type of defense would you want? How would you want it? Do these players we have fit? What do you think about Abdul Carter? What do you think about, obviously, Brian Burns is good. What is Dex losing the step? Whatever. Do you like a Debo, Banks in the back?
I think most importantly, on top of that, is check his mind state, right? Because you want to see if he's on the same path that you're on, right? Like we can't have him interview and then he just looks like he's been aging or he's looking like he's been acting like a different person outside of the football game that we know him as the Patriots because of, whatever his personal life and dealing with the college football level. You still have to, what I mean? The last thing we need is a GM and an owner to be like, yo, Bill, we hired you. You acting a little crazy out here, dude. Now you acting out of character. We can't have a head coach that just acts out of order. You know what I mean?
And Bill wants power. Bill comes in the building and wants, is he going to be able to mesh with our GM? Is he going to be able to say, yo, Bill, you're just coaching right now? You're not GM. He's going to want to buy the groceries and cook the meal. And we see what happened in New England after post-Brady. Bill Belichick, I think his last 11 seasons had 1 or 2 Pro Bowlers. I forgot what the stat was. It's something crazy. When I make my Belichick Brady arguments, I bring this up. I can't remember. But Belichick, not only that, he's older too. He's in his 70s. Now, I'm not the guy to age anybody out. Pete Carroll's, I think, around the same age. He's in Las Vegas. That shit's looking like a fucking disaster. You know what I'm saying? They fired Chip Kelly, but I'm not ready to age guys out right now. That's not cool. Bill Belichick has forgotten more defense than we'll ever know, forgotten more football than we'll ever know in our lives. Like I said, Bill Belichick calls, or you have a chance to interview Belichick, you got to do it. McCarthy, Belichick, Shula, and I think those are probably as of right now, those will probably be my 3. What would you say? Would you concur with that?
I don't want Bill Belichick. I would definitely because it just seems too far gone. Like he seems even more far gone than Mike Tomlin. Like my number 1, Mike Tomlin. My number 2 is McCarthy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then the third, I would do Shula because the only reason I do agree with Shula, and it's not just the name because I see what he brings to the table, but I think people do forget that the Giants' identity is defense. Like that's their identity, that's their culture, that's what they always been about. And I feel like we're straying away from it. And it's been far too long. It's been far too long since we've had a really our last great defensive coordinator was Steve Spagnuolo. He couldn't be a head coach, but there's difference, right? You're different human beings, man. When you're a head coach,
he shit the bed with the Rams, but when you put him back in the seat with the Chiefs, he looks amazing.
Yeah, it's looking like I wouldn't even mind bringing him back as a head coach,
Spags.
but
I
would bring Spags back as a head coach. But Spags ain't leaving, man. He's gonna ride that Patrick Mahomes wave out to the.
And they're gonna retool. Don't get it twisted. They're not gonna go anywhere this year. But Andy Reid is too good of a coach, and they have a good front office, and they have a good system in place. You know, they're gonna take a break for a year or two. They're gonna re-up and reload and get. You know, you'll see the Chiefs back in another 2. I say 2 years. They'll be back on top or in the mix.
And there's a lot going on, so it's not like people are looking at us like we're the Knicks like 7 years ago, and they're like, damn, I gotta go in there and coach these guys. There's wild talent on the Knicks, man. There's so much talent on the Knicks. All they do is need the right parents, and then we'll get to the motherland, like eventually, and then that's how you build it all back up. It's crazy how in football, a couple of bad decisions can set you back so far. People don't understand that, man. Like,
and we're not getting into the nuts and bolts of what they need personnel wise. We've done that a billion times, and we'll do that. We'll do that at the end of the season. You know, we'll do our evaluation and everything. But yeah, I just thought we'd talk a little bit about that coaching thing because, I don't think. Listen, Mike Kafka is respected. I remember him getting a couple of interviews these last couple of years. Off season, I don't think Mike Kafka is a bad coach. I just think, it's like when Fox fired when the whole Joy Taylor scandal was going on, and Acho gets fired, Shady got fired, James Jones got fired. They just want a lot of those. Those are all good people. They knew what they were doing, but you just kind of want to get rid of that whole regime and that whole stink energy and that, you know what I mean? So I don't see Kafka getting the job, especially how they looked after the Patriots stomped all over their back last week. And I don't want to get too much into that, but that was a fucking debacle. And we're gonna get into that a little bit with the kicker and the corners getting cooked and Giants can't stop in a run and Dart not sliding and getting out of bounds.
I thought we're not supposed to get the press during this. It's our first one back, man. You're about to make me cry, son.
I apologize. But yeah, definitely. So look, I'm looking forward to what the Giants are going to do in off season. But listen, the guy who is normally in charge, who would be normally in charge of picking a head coach, we don't know if he's going to be here. That's how crazy this shit is, too. And I'm talking about the one and only Joe Schoen, who I have advocated for in the past. I thought Joe Schoen, I thought Joe Schoen in the beginning, I liked his vibe. I liked his attitude. I liked some of the moves he made. This is early on. We got to get into Schoen, and it hurts my heart to get into Schoen because I think Schoen could be a good GM. Let me get into my spiel. Let's talk a little bit about Joe Schoen. Joe Schoen has made good moves and bad moves, right? Let's just fuck all the bullshit. Let's just get into sign Brian Burns, right? What would you say that is? Great move.
A+.
Right? Yes or no, right?
Hell yeah.
Sign Brian Burns. Brian Burns is an absolute killer. Cut Daniel Jones, right? I think that was a good move. We had to get rid of Daniel Jones. Also signed Dan. Also picked
I'm about
up
to
his,
say, bro.
right?
Like, he signed Daniel Jones.
Didn't pick up his option, but they did have an escape clause in that Daniel Jones contract. Let's not forget they packed the parachute, right?
Yeah, I don't think that was him. I'm pretty sure it was the New York Giants organization lawyer. Like, hold on, you're wilding out. You're giving the guy $45 million a year. Let's chill out.
Yeah,
He's
but
injury
don't forget,
prone.
Mara was in love with Daniel Jones. Don't forget that. He
but
loved him. He said we did everything we could. Remember that quote? We did everything we could to screw this kid up. And some of that is actually true. We see what Daniel Jones is doing over there in the coast. Now he's kind of come back to down to earth a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But you look with some offensive weapons and an offensive line. This is what Daniel Jones could look like, and Daniel Jones is having a decent season, right? So the Daniel Jones thing, okay, whatever.
I have an argument for that, but I'll say it for another time.
We'll talk a little bit about that. Let Saquon go. A lot of people had an issue with that. I didn't have as big as an issue as a lot of people. I understood the move. I understand that the running back market at the time, didn't reflect what Saquon was asking for. Now he kind of winds up getting the same deal with the Eagles. So was that Saquon kind of thumbing his nose at the Giants, or who knows, or whatever? That's another move. I understood it at the time. He also could have paid Saquon and not paid Daniel Jones. I'm not going to get into too much of that. I'm more looking at his drafts and his acquisitions. Darren Waller. Let's just go through the good and the bad. Darren Waller, right? I thought at the time, Joe Schoen is a little snake bitten in my opinion. Like, he has some moves that you say, that's a decent move, right? Like, that could be a decent move, but it kind of goes left, right? Darren Waller was a good tight end, right? What was the knock on Darren Waller? Gets hurt a lot, right? You know what I'm saying? He comes here. Was it the injuries or just he kind of went off the reservation with I think he was going through like a fucking divorce or some shit. The nigga just shit was all over the place. The nigga shit was just messy. You know what I'm saying? Did he know that he was gonna be in the middle of a divorce? Maybe could have did a little bit more homework. Let Leonard Williams go, right? Remember that? At the time, I was scratching my head, but that essentially led to him being able to get the space and the flexibility to go get a player like Brian Burns, right? Yeah. So I like that move. Let's go into another move. Re-sign Slayton. Didn't like that move at all, right? The Paulson Adebo move. Not exactly lighting it up, right? In my opinion. Okereke, linebacker, looked good in the beginning. It's not aging well, right? Picked up Sexy Dexy's contract. That's actually a no-brainer. Jackson Dart. They all say now Jackson Dart is his not one shining moment, but a shining moment, right? We all think Jackson Dart is going to be a fucking baller, yeah, right? People kind of say that's Dable's. Dable was the one standing on the table, banging on the table, still under Joe Schoen's ledger, right? Bad signing. Drew Lock and Russell Wilson, not great. The kicker issues, really bad, right? You know what I'm saying? Where I'm going to give Joe Schoen most of his credit, and we could run through his drafts and all that, from Evan Neal to Jalen Hyatt to Malik Neighbors.
But you're talking about all the way. You're talking about 2023 all the way to 2024.
We can
every one of those draft picks was garbage. It's 2 years wasted.
We can't go through all of the drafts because that's four years of fucking drafts. That's too much. Let's just kind of go through his really bad misses and his really good.
I'll name the names right now, bro. Hold on.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so he came here in 2022, right?
Okay.
Now.
Okay. 22.
Number
5 pick was who? Kayvon Thibodeau, correct?
No, that was the number one. Yeah, overall, but that was the number one pick that we had.
Our number one, but he was number 5 overall, right?
Yeah. So we had Thibodeau.
I like Thibodeau. I don't think
Thibodeau
that's a bust.
was good. No, it's not.
Yeah, go ahead.
Neil was a bust.
Neil is a bust. We all know that.
Robinson.
Wanda Robinson's a good move.
Azidu. Don't know where that guy's at. Flott getting burned. Bellinger.
Hold on. Flott. No. Flott is getting burned, but I'm not. Flott's not that bad of a pick. Let's not. Flott is.
He ain't a bust.
Corner.
He ain't a complete bust. He's average.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But he didn't make us completely like he's not that. He's not that Sauce Gardner, man.
He's not Darrell Revis, that's for sure.
Yeah. I don't even want to read the rest of these names except Makai.
Daniel Bellinger. Daniel Bellinger. What would you say about Daniel Bellinger?
No, I like Daniel Bellinger. Then you got Dane Belton, trash. Makai McFadden, I liked him. And then the other three, DJ Davison, Marcus McKeithen, and Darian Beavers. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, we're done with 2022.
Okay.
The
highlights. Yeah.
That gets like a C- draft.
Copy.
Right? All right, so 2023.
We're doing it like that? Okay. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. 2023. Oh, Jesus Christ. We got Deontay Banks.
Hold on. Let's stop right there. because he's getting a lot. I listen. I watch a lot of these guys, these Giant channels, and they're all good. Shout out to all the Giants channels. I respect all these guys. They know their shit. Joe Schoen is getting a lot of shit for Deontay Banks. Correct?
Yeah.
Let's not act like we didn't all think Deontay Banks was a good corner his first year. Correct? Yes or no? He was a number 2. Adoree was the number 1 at that point. Stop me when I'm wrong. Adoree was the number 1. Deontay Banks was number 2. We all said, damn, we think Deontay Banks can travel the next year. They get rid of Adoree. No, they bring Adoree back, but Adoree has some contact issues. Deontay's going to accept the number 1. Then he started getting cooked. Deontay Banks has all the physical traits and attributes to be a good corner. He really does. He just can't seem and he doesn't get cooked a lot. If you notice, like he doesn't let people get a lot of separation on him. He just can't get the ball. He can't get the ball.
Too many penalties. He doesn't know where the ball. He doesn't turn his head. Like but
we didn't think Deontay Banks was going to be bad. So let's not sit here and act like what kind of ridiculous pick was that? We thought Deontay Banks was going to be good as a rookie. Go ahead.
But that's also on the
I want to be fair.
We could. And I thought he was going to be good, too. But, like, come on, man. It takes 3 years, and you still can't learn, bro. Like, I could understand on the Shane Bowen, but you were still on the wink at 2023, so.
Look good, yeah.
You got to be fair. We got JMS. I think that was a good pick.
Decent pick, and he's.
Yeah. Then you
with
got.
that line, we're still kind of.
And then the rest.
I need more information. I need more data on him, but it's okay. It's an okay pick. In my opinion,
it's decent. It's not it's not like you've ever seen like us lose games or something been so detrimental. It's been his fault.
Yeah,
no.
Do I think he's the best center? No,
he's definitely. No,
I think.
But that's why they also brought in like Runyon and all those other guys.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about the line because I think that's that's his fucking shining moment.
You know, and then Jalen, we got Jalen Hyatt. We already know what that's like.
Okay, I don't mean to cut you off. Give me your opinion on Jalen Hyatt. We all know he's kind of a bust, right?
I kinda.
Yes, he's a bust. But, and this is where listen, and I know, like you know, if it was a fifth, we'd be all fucked up. If it was a split, we'd be high as fuck, right? I get all that. But coming out of Tennessee, they traded up for him. I thought that was a good move. He came in, and he was. You've seen flashes of Jalen Hyatt. Like, this is the frustrating thing about Jalen. I don't know what happened with Jalen Hyatt. I'm not sure. I haven't dug deep.
He came into the NFL. That's what happened.
He looked all right in the first season, bro. He had, like, I said, this guy could. I thought he was going to take over Slayton's spot, to be honest with you. But go ahead.
Yeah, but Slayton's a better route runner. And that's what's shown us of what.
Slayton creates no separation.
No, yeah, but Slayton could run more routes. Jalen Hyatt.
Yeah, you're right.
His stature is smaller. He can't go up for the ball. He can't even catch no more at this point. Like, it's just, and it's, you getting the dimes, man. You be getting dimes from Jones and you getting it from Dart, and it's just like, I don't know what else to throw to you, bro. At this point, like, you want me to just have somebody on the sideline just pick up the drop ball and deliver it to you, so you can act like you caught it, you know? So. But it is what it is, man. But like, all right, just so I can say this right now, just PSA. All these players we're talking about, I love y'all since y'all Giants, but maybe I need a change of scenery. And when y'all go somewhere elsewhere, whatever team y'all on, I'm not gonna root for y'all, but I root for y'all success. All right, but you know what I mean. I'm not praying for y'all downfall. Eric.
Okay, would you say Eric Gray?
Who?
Eric Gray, you say Eric Gray?
Yeah, Eric Gray.
Man, I couldn't be a GM because I like the Eric Gray pick too. Go ahead. I'd be a bad GM.
He was good on special teams,
but we thought he was going to be a good back.
I thought he was going to be a good running back, but he didn't really help us out, you know, to what we needed, right? And then we got, and this is all his bad shit. And this is where I feel like
we're doing right. 2023.
Yeah, 2023. In 2024 and 2025, this is where Shane Bowen. Joe Schoen, like, fucking, he became, like, demonic, bro. Like, cause then that's where I could almost defend him. Now we got Trey Hawkins. Okay, by your face, let's go. And then we got Jordan Riley, and then we got Javarius Owens. Mm-hmm. All right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Malik Neighbors,
No brainer.
star.
Yeah, no brainer. I don't know. Do you give him credit for that? Yeah, you have to, but it's a no brainer. Go ahead.
No, because he also could have gotten what's his name?
Odunze?
He could have got Odunze, and he also could have got that quarterback. Because they were
J.J.
really in need of
McCarthy?
a J.J. McCarthy because they were the only two top ones, But he went with
Thank
Malik
God we stayed
Neighbors.
away from McCarthy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tyler Nubin, that was a good pick.
I like Nubin.
Andrew Phillips, good pick.
I like Phillips a lot.
Theo Johnson, good pick.
Theo drops a lot of balls, but I like Theo.
He does. He needs to speak to like fucking Gronkowski or some shit, or like Tony Gonzalez.
Theo, Tony Gonzalez. Theo kind of reminds me of like a Mike Evans at the tight end position, like just a big burly.
Because he's like, but he's like a tall, thin wide receiver, but he plays the tight end position. It's a little weird.
Yeah.
Tyrone Tracy.
I like the
Good pick.
Tyrone Tracy.
I like that. And Darius Masau.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know too much about him. I don't think he does too much, to be honest. That was a great draft. That's what kind of like built us to get to where we needed. We still didn't, at this point in time, we still don't have the right coaching. We don't have the right leadership, right? I'm talking about the coaching standpoint, right? Wink's already gone. Shane Bowen has already failed. Shane Bowen has a whole new year with this whole revamp, right? And this is only just talking draft. We already know all the shit that happened on the free agents and the other signings, bringing in Runyon and all that stuff. So Shane Bowen had a chance.
Let's talk about that. Let's no. Let's not shit on Joe Schoen and like give him his props.
No.
The O-line was shaky.
I'm talking about Shane Bowen. Like Shane Bowen had a chance to make this defense what it should be.
I thought you said the O-line.
No. Okay. No. I'm talking about like Joe Schoen had a chance to make this defense like what at this point in time, like from what Joe Schoen built, like right, is trying to build right now with all his other acquisitions and free agents, whatever his draft picks. He's building some type of, he's trying to solidify his offense and his defense simultaneously, right? Now we go to 2025, right? Another good year, in my opinion, right? And then this is like probably like one of his best drafts, right?
Okay. What do we got?
Actually, his 2024 was his best draft. The 2024 is probably, I give him like an A- on that shit, right? I give him a B+ from 2025.
I don't know if I give him an A-, but he had his biggest hits, I think, in 2024. But go ahead.
You know what? Because they didn't showcase because the defensive coordinator is trash. And that's Tyler Nubin and Andrew Phillips because they should have definitely had a better year. And he also
Drew Phillips and the Nichols.
He did, but Flott would have been better too because there's so much like Shane Bowen don't know how to blitz, like whatever. He's out of here anyway. So 2025.
Shane Bowen does not blitz. Go ahead, yeah.
We got Abdul Carter.
Okay, so stop there.
We're gonna have a whole topic on.
No, we're not gonna have a whole topic, but we're in the mind of Joe Schoen now, right? Did you like the Abdul Carter pick?
Oh, I loved it.
Okay. Did the only thing I can say is one, Abdul, Penn State guy. Everyone thought he was gonna be like Micah Parsons or LT, but the motherfucker had the nerve to ask for LT's number. Nigga, what are you smoking, nigga? That's even if you came in lighting shit up, that's sacrilegious. But you come in and stinking up the fucking joint, and you had the nerve to ask for LT number. Now I will say this: I think he's immature. I get it, being late to team meetings, falling asleep, and not showing up to shit. All the stuff that they're talking about. I get all that. That's all young, immature shit. Maybe they should have been a little bit better in terms of their. Because when you're making a multi-million-dollar investment, right? Because that's what it is. It's a
Yeah, but you know what I
multi-million-dollar
heard? I
investment.
heard he was doing shit like that in Penn State.
Right, that's what I'm gonna get to. When you're making a multi-million-dollar investment as a team, because that's what it is. It is a You're putting millions of dollars you're investing into this guy, and what are you expecting, right? An ROI, right? And your ROI is
No,
supposed to be
return on
good,
investment.
good play on the field, right? When you're doing so, you have investigators. You have all types of protocol in place to dig in and find this shit. Now, if you didn't uncover that, or maybe you did uncover it, and you go right, because sometimes talent supersedes like bullshit. You know what I mean? Like they might go, you know what? Yeah, he's had some issues at Penn State, but damn, this motherfucker's good. You know what I'm saying? Like get him anyway. And with niggas like look at Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor was a fucking menace off the field. Like
Yeah.
he's doing some crazy
Yeah,
shit.
but
you
it's
know what I'm
also
saying?
a different.
But
it's
he's
also a
lighting
different-
shit up on the
it's a-
field, so you have tolerance for that bullshit.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm
But-
saying?
but
That
it's also
motherfucker
a
been
different
sniffing coke
time.
in the sideline. Niggas wouldn't have gave up. Niggas wouldn't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's also a different timeline, but yeah, you can't compare. You can't compare when somebody doing shit like that. You know,
T.O. was the fucking distraction, right? You know what I'm saying? But that motherfucker could hoop his ass off, so you put up with all the bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? Same thing with Randy Moss. The list goes on and on and on and on and on, right? Abdul Carter, I thought was a good pick. In hindsight, let's be honest, the jury's still out. It's looking kind of shaky. Go ahead, man. Abdul Carter, go ahead.
Then we got Jackson Dart, which he's looking like our franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
As you said, and like what you said earlier, it looked like it was the one. I wish there was a camera in the room when they made that decision. I want to see that was Dable, because if I was the owner and I see Dable like banging on the table, like, yo, this is the guy.
Yeah.
Man, you're 2 years too late, man. To be honest, man, like you could have created that. When you're a quarterback whisperer, you should be able to make any quarterback good.
That's a
Like
fact.
you had to deal with
Any
Josh
quarterback?
Allen.
I don't know about any quarterback.
Not any quarterback, but quarterback with talent, right? And we knew.
I didn't even see the Jackson Dart. I didn't say go pick Jackson Dart. I'm not even gonna sit here in front.
Me neither. That shit is like, that's some shit I do on my fucking, you know what I mean, when I have my fantasy draft, and that shit's like offline. You know what I mean? Like the computer one. I'd be like, I don't even care. Like, I'm gonna just draft that guy, and then automatically he just somebody gets hurt and that guy's just Willie beaming all of a sudden. You know what I mean? Like Jackson Dart was good.
Wait, Jackson Dart. Let me say one thing about Jackson Dart. I love Jackson.
He's a real
Dart.
football player, bro.
He's a real motherfucking football player.
I feel like him and Cam Scatterbull are like related.
Them niggas is like them crazy white boy friends that you have. You know what I'm saying? That just do crazy
You think they
shit.
went to the same college, right?
Yeah.
Like,
But them niggas they're scary niggas, and I'm gonna tell you why. Forget about Cam. You know, Cam Scatterbull does what he's supposed to do. Right, that was a freak accident. He's a baller. That's what running backs do. Running backs, you know, we're gonna go see Brandon Jacobs this weekend. That's running backs are supposed to run. You're a running back. Run through the defensive backs, right? But Jackson Dart, the only thing I think he has a lot of potential. He came in. You see the difference between him and Russell Wilson. And I did shows where I advocated for Russell Wilson not to be the Giants quarterback of the future, but to be the stopgap guy. I didn't want them to bring in. I said this numerous times. I didn't want them to bring in Dart too early and fuck the kid up. But he came in, and you saw an immediate difference. He's poised in the pocket. He can run. He gets out the pocket. He has a good arm. He was inaccurate in the beginning, but now he's starting to be a little more accurate.
Make smart decisions.
Smart decision. They haven't took the training wheels completely off him yet. Let's not get it twisted.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the deal with here's the thing with Jackson Dart that I'm very, 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 very worried about. Right, Jackson Dart looks to be going down the RG3 path, in my opinion. Do you remember? I think it was 2012 was his rookie season. Him and Kirk Cousins. I have a Kirk Cousins somewhere right here. RG3 used to drive Mike Shanahan fucking nuts because he would not slide. He could not slide. He would take the most monstrous fucking hits. And that shit lasted about 5 fucking. He won the Rookie of the Year over Andrew Luck the year. And, you know, Andrew Luck was the more of a pocket guy, right?
Yeah, that was. He had a crazy year that year, Andrew Luck.
RG3 had a better year, though. RG3 won the Rookie of the Year. You know what I'm saying? RG3 was dynamic. He could pass.
He had like 700 rushing yards that year.
But he could run, and that's where the league was headed. That's why Andrew Luck was good. But the league, you've seen what the league is transformed into. There's only maybe 2 or 3 pocket passes left. They're almost like dinosaurs. Everyone runs now. Dart runs. Josh Allen runs. You name it, they all run. But I say that to say this. He couldn't get the character. Similar characteristics are they would not get out of bounds. Dart would not get out of bounds. RG3 wouldn't slide, right? And they were both thin in stature. They weren't big fucking Josh Allen, Ben Roethlisberger, burly fucking Cam Newton type of guys, bro. These niggas, yo, you saw the hit on fucking Dart last week when the motherfucker, it wasn't as bad as it looked, but he just flung him out of bounds. The dude flipped over and landed on his feet. It was like the nigga did a trick, like, ha! He's just,
but you know what? At the end of the day, that
he has to be careful, otherwise he's gonna get fucked up. He gotta get that in check.
Yeah.
And he was in a press conference the other day talking about this is how I play football. No, nigga, that's not how you play football. And again, it's a multi-million-dollar investment in you. Get the fuck out of bounds, bro. Go.
But look who. But in that regard, look who's. You got Mike Kafka. You know what I mean? As the interim coach, like right now, this shit's in shambles. We can't. This is a deleted year. Like, this is a deleted year. We're going to take all these little guys, all these little, you know what I mean? Like, grown men trying to be adults, and we're going to whip them on the shape. Like, next year, the Giants have to put them to boot camp. Like, hey, guys, now we're going to conform, and we're going to play this shit how it's built.
But what's scary about Dart, and I agree with you, it's not only Kafka. That's kind of in his DNA. If you watched him play in college, right? Because I didn't see him play that much in college, but I went back. I started looking at some of his stuff when he got drafted. He played the same fucking way.
Oh, yeah. No,
that's kind of who he is. So you can't just like buck break a dude. You know what I'm saying? He's got.
I think you can. I think it's the opposite.
He's gotta
way.
get his shit together.
I think it's the opposite way around because the reason he's doing that is because he's not seeing anything. The reason he's not seeing anything is because they're always, trailing in these games. So you know what I mean? So like his mentality is his best bet is to let me try to get this first down myself. Like, you know what I mean? Like if we could actually win these games, because he didn't do none of that against the Saints game, the Cowboys game, the Broncos game, all those other games that we could have won where we weren't trailing by so many points or actually needed it down where Mike Kafka is playing so desperately because now they're playing to the point where it's like, oh yeah, we're going for everything. You're putting your young quarterback life on the line because now you already know he's going to think like he has to prove himself. Don't make him go out there on 4th and 3. And if he don't see anything and you don't give him the permission to throw the ball all the way down the field unless he sees it perfectly open, he's going to go run if he sees something. But and then if something happens where somebody doesn't grab somebody or pick up that block, he could potentially get hurt. And that's because they don't have the right development and in those scenarios, man. Like, he needs to understand that now. Like, he doesn't have the loser mentality. Yeah, he needs to understand we're going to lose these games, and this is how we lose these games. I lose these games, but I still keep my health. But I don't want to lose these games and be like, damn, I just got another concussion. You know what I mean? Because I try to run out of bounds when we're down by 21 points. Because then at that point, like, now who's the quarterback coach? Are you firing the quarterback coach at that point? Because, like, who's talking to this person every day? Trying to, you know what I mean? Like, there's mad levels until it goes all the way up. But that's something that the Tish and Mara family need to figure out. And it starts from Joe Schoen. But, there's so many ladders everybody could climb. It seems like this Giants organization, their arms are too short.
but yeah, and we digress a little bit, but yeah, definitely a good point. But back to that Dart, phenomenal pick. I'm not saying he's not a phenomenal pick. He just worries me. Go ahead. Who's next?
Darius Alexander.
Love it. And he started off slow. I think that was a real good sleeper pick. Started off slow.
Wow.
He was either the candidate like last couple of weeks for the rookie of the week. I'm not sure if you could look that up. Mm-hmm. I think last couple of weeks he was actually a candidate for the defensive rookie of the week. But he's starting to come on, and he's a big kid. I definitely like the Darius Alexander pick. Absolutely. He doesn't play. He doesn't have to get that many snaps, but I do think moving forward I like the pick. Put it like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? You like that pick?
Oh no, yeah.
And I said that in the beginning of the year, if you remember, right? We talked.
And what's crazy, and yeah, and I'll be honest. I'll be completely honest. I didn't even really know too much on him. I had to go back and research him.
Yeah,
I was like, this kid looks good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, this kid looks good. Let's see what he does. And then he was the kid I was mainly looking at because I looked at everybody else. So I was focused on Alexander. I'm like, wow, this kid this kid is actually doing what he needs to do. Like quick, he just settled in. Like he just,
facts.
and that's just his first year. So as soon as he deals with everybody, and that's the different culture shock. And obviously I never went to like a football school or whatever, or any college school, play for any team professionally, but I'm pretty sure those locker rooms have like the offensive linemen, and so whoever is with him, like when he's talking and like he's absorbing that knowledge, and he's definitely like, you know what I mean, he's incorporating in his day-to-day gameplay, you know what I mean, like, and that's what we like to see. I think he's going to be a phenomenal player.
I agree.
And after that is Marcus Mbao. No, it's Cam. We got Cam Scatterbull.
A+.
Man, A+. I don't know
Cam was a
that
fucking boss. 4 and 6 in the trap.
Cam Scatterbull reminds me of like some of the, and I can't even like. There's so many like crazy words because
you remember the rundown? I mean, do you remember
no, because
Gridiron Gang?
Yeah.
Do you remember the white boy in Gridiron Gang? He was like, "Woo!" Yeah. He kept hitting the dude and shit. He's like, "I'm gonna get you on the next one, boy." Like he remind me of that. He remind me of a wild, crazy,
that's all
no sense motherfucker, man. I fucking love him.
That's what I was about to say because he remind me of like those wild white boys, man. When I first went into like College Point, man, all they was all hopped up on
New York white boys pills that type of time,
bro, I'm like, these white boys is different out here. I'm like, they don't like they were doing backyard wrestling, like they were doing all types of crazy shit, yo. Yeah. Like, I'm like,
white boys are. Raekwon and Nas had this thing with New York. Even the white boy niggas are tough. White boy niggas will fuck you up in New York. Don't get it twisted. Don't come out here thinking shit sweet with the white boys out here. Word up. Nah, and shout out to all my white people. I love all my white people.
Facts.
Okay. Cam Scatterbull.
Then we got Marcus Mbao.
Fuck with Mbao, yeah.
He's decent. Yeah. And then we got Thomas Fedone, and then Corey.
We're just doing the drafts, right? Because we could talk about James Hudson, Turnstile.
No. We do. Yeah, we're doing just the drafts. And to be honest, man, like his past 2 years, like almost
okay.
I think it gives him enough. Now, this is where my debate comes in, right? Because he did a good job on the draft. He didn't do a good job.
Okay job on the draft.
Yo, but you're not gonna have
some busts that we thought were gonna be good. This is the way I say sneaking.
But that's in the beginning,
right?
So,
what do you mean in the beginning? What do you mean?
In his beginning of his tenure as a GM. So now, so think about it like this: his last 2 years. In any of his first 4 picks, has there been like any super bust?
His last what?
On any of his last 2 years, right? 2025 and 2024. Has there any been like in his first 4 picks, right? Because those are the most important, man.
Are they? Yeah, I guess they are. Yeah.
You're not gonna draft. Who you going to draft? Like
no, but they're the easy. I don't want to say the easy, but the first 2 picks are the easy picks. Then you got to find them diamonds in the rough as you get deeper and deeper in that draft. But go ahead, I'm listening. Go ahead, my fault.
No, yeah. So like, if we think about it, so now we compared the 2023 to 2022, there was a massive improvement, right? And that's not Mara, that's not Tish.
Yo, do you want him to be the GM? Because the other day I specifically read a text.
No, I want him to get fired.
Get this motherfucker the fuck up out of here.
No, and there's a totally different reason why I want him to get fired.
Okay.
He's the leader, right? And now he could have been getting all this knowledge that we went across, right? That should make him sound good. And like what you said earlier, he probably didn't make all these decisions. Yo, he had scouts, right? We saw how many people were like, even the assistant GM was like, nah, you should draft that guy instead of that guy. You know what I mean? Like at this point, like he looks so indecisive. I'm saying the picks that he handed into the organization, I'm not saying I don't feel comfortable that he's the man that feels like he's the one that built this team and comfortable for them to operate in the capacity that he built them. He hires the wrong people. He makes great transition. This guy, you know what Joe Schoen should be doing? Work on the trade what's it called? The stock trade, bro. Yo, do that shit, bro. Yo, work at hedge funds. Yo, you can make awesome deals, man. Yo, work corporate. I think he is a
average to slightly above average GM if I'm grading him right now on what he's done
You
thus
think he's
far.
slightly above that? All right, so he
You think he's above average?
hell no. So
Slightly. He has an eye for talent.
man, like yo. Do we know it's his eye for the talent though? You know how many scouts and other people that are saying that?
Right, but I mean, at the end of the day, he's the one left holding the bag. Yes or no, right?
Yeah,
we're
but
not talking about. Do we do a segment on the scouts? No. Now I don't think he's the best GM. I don't think he's the best.
But
GM,
there's no confidence in his decisions, because if there was, when they showed us the Hard Knocks, it wouldn't have been him asking.
I hated that. I hated that Hard Knocks.
You know what I mean?
Man.
Like, which I understand. That's cool. They probably did that shit on purpose to take a scene from Draft Day or whatever, where how he wrote fucking you know what I mean?
The whole Saquon shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a bad look for the Giants, man.
But at the end of the day, like, Joe Schoen, here's what it is. He's not the greatest, because people got to remember he was the one who couldn't fix the Wink and Dable issue. He's the one who brought in Bowen. He's the one who still let Dable.
Well, did he
call
bring
the
in,
plays?
Did he bring? Wait. Did he? You sure? I don't know that he brought in Bowen. He signed off on it, but doesn't the head coach kind of get to pick their staff? Didn't Dable do that?
Yeah, but isn't also the GM should be monitoring who they want to bring?
Yeah,
you
but
know
Shane
what I mean?
Bones with Tennessee, it's not like he was off the street. And Dable said, "I like this guy." You know, I don't know that whole Wink shit. It's tough to call who was wrong with. I wasn't there. It seemed like insubordination. I don't know. Wink was on some real wild. Wink runs hot. Pause. But listen. Do I think he's had the best career as a GM? No. And can I make a case that I go, yeah, bring him back definitely got to bring him back. No, I can't lobby for him in that aspect. But something tells me that he has unfinished business to do. Now, one thing.
But if they fire him and they keep Kafka,
What is hold on. No, they're not going to keep Kafka. Let me ask you one question. In your opinion, right? In your opinion, what is the most important and difficult positions to draft, develop, and trade for and acquire on a team, in your opinion?
For a team?
Yeah, I'm gonna take, in my opinion, it's the quarterback, right? You can't do nothing about the quarterback. Most important position in football, right? 1,000%. And what does a quarterback need to be successful? An O-line, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. The Giants O-line, I believe, is ranked 10th this year. The Giants O-line has kept Jackson Dart safe. Now the O-line has been shaky, up until this year, but he brought in Runyon. And I know brought in Van Rotten. I know Van Rotten. We was killing Van Rotten last year. I know Van Rotten's probably gone next year. Illuminor, we got to pay some money. But Runyon, Van Rotten, Illuminor, Andrew Thomas, and I know people have been down to Andrew Thomas, and I know that was a get over thing. I get it. I understand, but I'm just going over the whole thing. Left tackle. The line is actually decent. I believe they're ranked 10. They've done a good job of protecting Dart. He stabilized the offensive line. Now he's going to need some depth pieces in there. And we're going to, like I said, we're going to have some contract issues with a couple of players on there. He's going to have to go out and get creative and get some people. Goldston was not a good pick. It was a depth pick. They gave him $5 million. I didn't like that. But overall, he did a good job, I believe, securing the line and getting his quarterback. We got to give him some credit for that, no? Look how long it took the Jets to get their fucking line right. And
he did. Look, he did.
James Hudson, I said Chauncey Golden. Sorry. James Hudson is a turnstile.
But he also held on. He also held on for way too long. Man, like he came over here like he had no warning of what was about to accumulate and what the scenario was gonna be like. That's how I feel like, right? And that's why the whole scenario with like Dable should have been gone. Like he's too much of a friendly guy. I need a GM who's gonna.
Dable should have been gone when? When would Dable should have been gone? We know this year, but when?
Oh, 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Yep.
Coming off a playoff win.
No, the year after that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So was that 2 years already? Damn.
Yeah, because he's coached. Well, David's been coached 4 years. No, 4. What is it? 4 or 5 years?
No, this is like his 5th year. He's in his 6th year with the Colts.
Who? With the
Jones.
Colts? What are you talking about?
Jones was drafted in 2020, bro. He's going into his 6th year playing NFL football.
Who are you talking about?
Daniel Jones.
This is his first year with the Colts.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying NFL.
No, but how long has Dable been a coach? It's 5 years. This is his 5th year?
Oh, no, Dable? No, this is his 4th year.
4th year. So his first year he had success.
And the other 3?
Yeah.
Crazy turmoil, bro.
Yeah.
It just went down like.
He won. Yo, niggas forget Dable won coach of the year, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's great. And then, like, how you win coach of the year and then you just shit the bed. Like, come on, man. Like,
you said he,
like, on year 2, what a real owner and organization does and GM, they come together and say, like, damn, what really went wrong? Let's figure it out. Because they came into they had this damn near the same team in his 2nd year tenure. Let's keep it a buck.
Let me ask you this. Do you remember before the season started, right? And all the great football minds and pundits and media personalities and analysts, blah, blah, blah. Do you remember what they were saying about the Giants before the season started? What were they saying?
Oh, they were going to be a playoff football team.
Oh, the Giants' defense is going to be one of the best defenses in football. Their front seven is crazy. And I was saying the same shit. Their front seven is crazy. Yeah. They're a sleeper team. They could,
Now Shane Bowen never going to have a job ever again.
Right. You know what I'm saying? They were saying this, but then, and who would have been partly responsible for that? Joe Schoen. But then when the shit falls apart, everyone goes, oh, then everyone jumps the fucking ship. Oh, I knew the Giants weren't going to be shit. It's all bullshit, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no one knew that the fucking Giants were going to blow all these fourth quarter fucking leads. If they hold on a little bit longer, we're not having it. Dable might still be here. We might not be having this conversation, bro. The Giants have been, as crazy as it sounds, in most games, the Giants have been competitive. They really have.
We definitely gonna be having.
There's a couple of outliers, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a couple, like,
Yo, Dable was here for the Broncos. Dable was here for the Saints. He was here for the Cowboys.
Collapses.
Come on, exactly. So,
but I'm saying they've been competitive.
Oh yeah, all year.
Pretty much.
But now you can see that even if Dable would have been here. All right, so let me ask you this question.
I'm not advocating for Dable. It's just more Shane. He put the personnel to make these guys competitive and has Shane Bowen. I believe they have a decent defense. They need some work with the corners, maybe on the other side with a safety. Couple little different things, you know what I'm saying? But I believe their defense was good enough to, should have played better than this. You know what I'm saying? Had they not blown these fourth quarter leads and maybe won one or two more games, we're not having this conversation about Joe Schoen. We're singing his praises. It's how the ball bounces sometimes. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. And this is why I'm telling you,
easy to say, oh, he's terrible, he's bad when they're losing. It's very easy to say that. And I'm not saying you only. I'm gonna give you a lot of props because you've been on the same train the whole fucking year. You know what I mean? So you're not just jumping on the wagon. But a lot of these other guys out here now, they're all calling for this motherfucker's head. I don't know. I really don't know. Only reason I say you fire him, obviously the record is bad. It's just to cut ties with all the stink of the old regime and start new. But then you gotta bring another GM in here, and we gotta get a proven GM. Not no young boy genius. He was the boy genius. He was the assistant GM in Buffalo. No more boy geniuses. Bring an established guy in here. Now who do you go get? So, right? I don't know.
Nah, it's another topic for another day, man.
We cooked today, though, my nigga. We was cooking today.
Yeah.
We was cooking. You was cooking, my nigga. How you feel? You feel good coming back in the mix?
Oh yeah, I'm chilling, man. Yo, what else we got to talk about? I can talk all day.
We're gonna wrap up today, and we're gonna wait.
Okay.
We have like an hour and 15 minutes, man. So we're a little over the time, but we'll come back and we'll double back to OBJ and Eli. How about next week?
Oh
we'll talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
You know what I'm saying? So we got
some topic.
I want to
talk about.
I would love to talk about the Chris Paul shit. There's mad shit.
Oh, that's crazy,
bro. Crazy
like,
shit. The Giannis shit heating up.
Yeah, Giannis and Chris Paul. Oh yeah.
Maybe if we got some time, maybe
That's
Sunday
just all
we ain't doing
happened in the
nothing.
past 2 days.
I know.
Like-
Shit getting crazy. We had to get the
Like-
Giants shit out the way. I don't know if I want to talk about the Giants anymore this season. I don't want to talk about the Jets.
Yeah.
The Jets, they're kind of coming back and doing their thing a little bit. You're starting to see a little bit.
That's good, man, because you know what, they
progress.
need that. Because like as a newfound coach, like
Yeah.
you don't want your first year to be like, oh, this is my tanking year, and I can't win them. Man, win, man. It's gonna make everybody. It's gonna revive the. You know what I mean? Revive.
I think
Give
Aaron
some
Glenn
guys
has
some
kinda
energy.
got a hold on that whole shit. Yeah.
I
So
think
we'll see. We'll see. But
We'll see.
yeah,
But,
they're
it
rebuilding,
all-
so I'm not gonna shit on them. They got to get a quarterback.
They got wow, but they got wow picks, man. Like it's interesting.
They got
Like they're
wild
the team
picks.
I'm keeping an eye on. So me and you were gonna definitely be staying up on Jay and be like, yo, what's your team doing, son? Like what's gonna happen? Because like you guys got like what?
They
Like
got a
3
lot of
first
picks.
round
The
picks next
Cowboys
year or
have
some
a lot
shit?
of picks. We'll get into all that. But yeah, the Jets. It looked really grim in the beginning of the year. It looked like Aaron Glenn was going to be one and done, but he's kind of turned it around. The penalties are kind of have subsided a little bit. What's the name's in there? Tyrod Taylor's in there. He as much as I love what's my man's name from Chicago?
Who? Caleb Williams?
No, the quarterback that Caleb took over. He's in the Jets now. He was in.
You talking about
Justin Fields. As much as I love
Justin
Justin
Fields.
Fields and I want him to win, he's definitely not the dude. And we'll get more into that. You know what I mean?
he went to the Steelers first, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even Mike Tomlin was like, yeah, that boy gotta get out of here.
But yeah, the Jets. I think they're gonna right the ship with Muji and Glenn and Wilkes and all that. So we'll talk about them at the end of the year. I think we're gonna turn the page on the Giants, man. There's nothing really to talk about. We're gonna talk some Knicks. We're gonna talk some NBA. We'll probably just go around the league and talk some good NFL shit. And that's what it is, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, before you leave, I gotta ask you this question. I'm gonna make it plain and simple. Super Bowl winner prediction.
Super Bowl winning prediction.
Just blur it out. Just blur it out. It doesn't even matter. Don't think. Why you thinking, man?
This year's different. Yo, this year's like
That's because the AFC is fucking everything up.
NFC too. It's a little bit of parity this year. If I had to say, if I had to say AFC, like everyone's excited about the fucking Pats. If you really dissect the Pats schedule, they beat a lot of burgers, low key. They had a couple of. I think they beat the Bills, and I think they beat who else? They beat the Bills. And they had like 1 or 2 wins. I forget who the other team was that they beat.
They beat the Bills and they beat the.
They beat the Bills early too. I gotta pull up the schedule. I'm a little saucy.
And they're about to play the Bills again this week.
But they play. If you run through this, I looked through the schedule the other day. If you really went through the schedule, I'm not saying they're a bad team. I kind of like what Rabel's doing. I like the way the defense looks. I like this Drake May obviously, but I'm gonna pump the brakes on them. They don't have playoff experience. I think they're headed in the right direction. I gotta see them face some killer teams, and everything slows down in the playoffs, and they scheme for you a little bit different in the playoffs. They have a little more time to scheme for you. So I'm not as high in the Pats as everyone else is. I would say the Broncos, man. Have a hell of an offensive line.
They gonna win the Super Bowl?
No, I'm talking about this. They're probably my pick for the AFC because I think the Chiefs is.
I'm talking about the Super Bowl in general.
No, but I'm just going through the motions.
You going through your motions?
The Chiefs, right? They're cooked. The Bills look like they're cooked. Chargers. I don't think Chargers. Ravens are cooked. I think AFC is the Broncos. In my opinion, the Broncos. And then in the NFC, the NFC is tough, man. NFC, I'd probably. I know they lost last week. Maybe the Rams. I think if it was the Rams and the Broncos, I think maybe that'd be tough. Sean McVay against Sean Payton would be tough, man. Offense against a stout defense. If I had gun to my head, I'd probably pick the Rams, I guess, but not by a lot. What about you? This is good. This is a good time. We should talk about this next week. Yeah, good. Let me hear you.
Damn, I was really like, because you know what, man? I'm like a closet Chiefs fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like Andy Reid. I respect.
I like
his,
Andy
his
Reid,
handle.
and you know what I mean. I don't even bring it to the point of where like what's it called like Patrick Mahomes. Man, they got Spags. Man, like you know, Spags help us win a chip too, man. Like, but I don't think they're gonna go there neither, man. That's just it's a little weird. But what I would like to see, on the NFC side, I'll stay on the NFC side first. You know, I mean, I bleed blue, man. On the NFC side, what would be really interesting is I think it's going to be the Eagles.
Really?
I think it's going to be the Eagles.
I emphatically disagree. But go ahead.
I think it's going to be the Eagles.
Okay.
I think they're going to figure out a way to get there. They always do. I feel like these are guys like they just fucking hate each other, but they just know how to like get there and win the games.
Okay. All right. I respect your pick.
And I also think it's going to be the Bears. I think that's going to be the NFC championship.
The Bears will be my sleeper. The Bears will definitely be my sleeper. You know what I mean?
I think nobody. I don't think these other teams know how to prepare for the Bears. You know, and that's the best thing. You know, like when you had no time to really study what they'd done in previous years. This is all unprecedented. You know, like we know what
I like the Bears. I don't believe in the Eagles
are
at all.
going to do.
Eagles are slipping.
I think, yeah, they are, but I still think they're not somebody to just wipe the gloves because what we've
They
all
don't look the same.
This is all a prediction, and you know, like this is all a prediction. But like, yeah, the Rams, you know, like the Rams looking like the Rams, but Matthew Stafford's having an astronomical year. I'm not gonna lie, and I really
You could have had him last year, man.
I wanted him. I wanted him over like Russell Wilson. Remember,
What's
I
all
brought
you
everything
punk-ass
up.
Giants fans who was in the chat? Remember, I showed that was killing me, saying I was an idiot for saying get Matthew Stafford. Where you at now, bum ass motherfuckers? God.
Word, I wanted Matthew Stafford, man, but Puka's also playing out of his mind. And I guarantee you, if we have
Puka's playing good. I think Devontae.
You saw the catch he did the other
Devontae's
day.
hurt. Yeah.
You saw the catch he had the other day. Yeah, that shit was insane.
They're a little bit banged up, but the tight end, I forget his name, Xavier Smith. They got Matthew Stafford.
And then on the AFC side, oh man, it's like man, I was really trying to root for the Ravens, but like they're so far from it. They can still, you know, they still have some time, you know, because like how many games did Lamar Jackson miss? Well, like 3-4 games, 3-4 games.
And then in the beginning of the year, their defense was just shit in the bed. The defense is starting to recover a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
No, because I still feel like I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I just.
Are the Ravens even in?
They're in top of the league right now. They're number one in the division. But they
have to win that division. No, actually, no. Yeah, I don't know. Do they have to win that division?
Well, they're gonna be. They could also make it as a wild card.
How many get in? How many get in again?
It's
7,
4, and then there's 3 wild cards.
All right, so I'm looking at the thing right now. Ravens are 6-6. The AFC North. Okay, so you think. Okay, so if I had to pick the 7 in the AFC, Broncos are in. Broncos are in, right? Chargers are in, I believe. Jaguars in. Colts are in. Those are 4, right? I'm gonna say. Oh, Patriots and Bills are probably in. That's 6. So we have one more. So between the Ravens, the Steelers, the Texans have been very hot, right? They're in the bubble.
Yeah, but it's still no. I don't believe in that coach yet. And Sean McDermott has like.
Who? You don't believe in what coach?
Texas coach, man. Like the Texas coach. Man,
D'Amico?
Yeah, D'Amico. I don't know, man. Like he's just been like.
I like him, man.
I like him too, man. He's just been like, I don't know, man. Something.
Ravens could get in, but they gotta win. In my opinion, they gotta win that division. They gotta win that division.
They have to win that division, without a doubt, because it's basically like all tied up. Because like they're tied with the
Steelers. They're
tied with the Steelers, right?
Yep. They have to win that division, and they get in, then they can make some noise because they're starting to. They're starting to do
because at that point, you know, John Harbaugh's gonna turn it on. You know what I mean? And at that point, it's coaching.
They
you know
lost last week, right?
Who?
Did they lose? The Ravens lose last week?
The Ravens?
I don't even know. Did the Ravens lose last week? Ravens played. Yeah, they lost to the Bengals. Yeah, they lost
Oh
to the
yeah, that was a
fucking
good game. I
Bengals.
actually watched it. Yeah, because Jamar
Yeah.
Chase, Jamar Chase came off.
Yeah, they can't lose division games like that, bro. Like that's
Yeah,
because the Steelers had lost too, right? Steelers lost last week, right?
yeah. I'm just trying to think. Like the AFC is a little bit more weirder, man. Like,
So
but
you're saying who in the AFC?
I think the AFC and the AFC it's gonna be.
It's the Broncos, bro.
They haven't
Broncos.
like
Broncos up.
they haven't convinced me yet. But
Broncos are Jaguars. Or the Colts are kind of banged up right now. Yeah,
you know
it's
what? You
hard.
know what I'll take? I'll take a Broncos. No, because I definitely think it's gonna be the Broncos in the AFC. But I
Yeah.
think it's gonna be like the Broncos and maybe like I think it's gonna be the Broncos and the Bengals. Really do.
Yeah. Broncos and the Bengals. You said Broncos and who?
The Broncos and the Bengals. I don't think
Broncos and
the
the Bengals. Bengals what for what? The AFC Championship?
Yeah,
Broncos
I
not
don't
even
think.
making the playoffs. What are you drunk?
Oh yeah, they're
Bengals
like 3 and something, right?
Yeah, Bengals not even making the fucking
Oh, because
playoffs.
they got to. Yeah, because they got
Yeah.
out last week. If they would have won, they would have been in contention. They would have been a wild card last week.
Yeah,
If
Bengals
they
ain't.
would
I
have
don't
won.
think Bengals are getting in. I think yo Listen, Broncos and Pats probably in the AFC champ or Broncos and I think the Jaguars are a sleeper. Jags
Jaguars
have
are
kind of been
good.
kind of
It's
low
just
key been running around handling business on the low.
yeah, they
Colts
have
too.
with Etienne and yeah, the Colts
Yeah.
too. Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Um.
That's true.
So
But
what about okay? So just give me before we get out of here. NFC. What's the Super Bowl look like? Who's playing in the Super Bowl?
the Super Bowl, I would like to see some different teams. I want to see like a Bears.
Oh, you said the
I want to
Bears.
see.
You see, Bear. I like the Bears pick. The Bears pick is a
I
hot
want.
take.
I want to
Yeah.
see. I want to see the Bears.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that'll be interesting. I would see the Bears and the Broncos.
Bears and the Broncos. Okay.
That's
I think
brand new.
yeah.
That's brand
Yeah.
new with brand new.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. I think
You know
so
what I
too.
mean?
That Bears are exciting, man. I like the Bears, man. I like the Bears a lot. I think they're only gonna get better. Caleb Williams, stop painting your nails, man. That shit ain't cool. But
It's just a little weird.
that shit's very weird. But the Bears are 9-3. They got some good fucking
It was
players on there,
crazy.
man.
What they lose like
DJ
the first
Moore's
two
doing his
games and shit.
thing.
Yo,
Fucking
I've been talking about DJ Moore for so
Yeah,
long. Everybody
yeah.
been like, yo, he's whack. I'm like, yo, he doesn't have a quarterback, man.
Yeah,
Like, yo,
yeah.
like,
O'Doonze is a
yo,
stud. Loveland doing his thing. They got some players, man. They got some fucking players. Caleb is starting to figure it out. You know, Ben Johnson's really good. They got C.J. Gardner over there from the fucking from the Jets. Yeah, man. I like the Bears. You know, I'm with you on the Bears. I like the Bears. I don't think they're gonna make it, but they'd be my second pick. Who did I say for the NFC? I said the.
I said the Rams.
Yeah, the Rams. But if it wasn't the Rams, I'd say the Bears. I don't love the Bucks. I want to love the Bucks.
Too inconsistent.
Yeah, and then we forgot that we kind of shitting on the Seahawks a little bit. Seahawks. Nah, nigga, don't make that face. Seahawks is 9-3, my guy. Seahawks is balling.
Nah, yeah, they are. They're good. It's just
They got some. Let me see the Seahawks wins. Let me see. They beaten. Let's see where the shit is. Where the fuck is that shit at?
But regardless of the fact, I think it's probably going to be like a rookie coach versus rookie coach or rookie QB versus rookie QB, bro, in the Super Bowl. I'm telling you right now. Wow. That's going to be the whole big shit.
23. Wait, what year are we? 25? We're in 25, right? Let me see. 25.
I think the Lions just beat the Cowboys.
No, that's the wrong shit. A preseason. Okay, where's the regular season start? Was it preseason right here? Hold on. Oh, I'm all fucked up here. Wait. Preseason 1, 2, 3 games, right? So they lost to the Bucks, beat the Texans, beat the Cardinals, beat the Titans. Beat the Titans, beat the Steelers, beat the Jags, beat the Commanders when the Commanders were still kind of good.
What week was that?
Smoked the Vikings, Yeah, see, yo, the Seahawks is all right. Seahawks is decent, man. They got you got to give them a little credit. But anyway, yeah, guys.
Nah, Seahawks is good. They're just such a sleeper team because they're on the side of this planet.
Yeah, and that division, bro.
That
That
division is
division
crazy.
is
They
a
all
little
have like
crazy,
9 wins,
man.
right? They all have like except the fourth place
the
team,
Cardinals,
right?
bum ass
Yeah, except the Cardinals.
The
Everybody
banged
has,
up
like,
Niners got 9 wins. The Seahawks, and that division is, the
bugged out.
49ers, like, they're probably like a lower seed. Like, they're
They might not even make the playoffs.
Let me see in the NFC. Let me see. We did the AFC teams, right? AFC, you said 7 teams, right? The Eagles are going to win the division. They're going to get in. I don't think the Cowboys will catch them, although you never know. Eagles, Bears.
Well, Cowboys just lost tonight, so.
Oh, they just lost. Yeah, they're done. Eagles, Bears, Packers, Buccaneers. The Panthers might win that division. Bucks are holding on. I don't know. Rams.
Panthers is wild sleeper. I don't know who.
Yeah, Panthers. Wow. Seahawks. Yo, this is yeah. I don't know. It's either so it's either the Panthers could get in or the Lions. I don't know who do you think between them two, the Panthers and the Lions. They're probably the last seed to get in.
It's got to be the Lions because Lions are winning tonight. Lions are winning tonight, but the Panthers are showing like they're.
So Lions won. Yeah. Oh, they beat the Cowboys. Okay, I didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't beat them yet, but yeah, they're winning by like almost 2 scores.
The Panthers running back room is fucking sick.
Yo, bro.
You know what I'm
I know. That's why I'm tired. I was like, yo, running back by Kamir. I had Chuba Hubbard. I'm like, come on, dude. Like, yo, sometimes you play, sometimes you don't. And then when he goes off, he's out of my starting lineup. It's annoying as fuck.
Bryce Young. I'm happy to see Bryce Young.
He finally had a spry back. Yeah, he had a spry back because when I first saw him come back in, like when I first saw him play, I was like, Bryce Young is gonna actually be nice. And then he had some couple of bad years, man. And but like now to see him play
young
like
growing
this,
pains, and
but it just happens. It doesn't click for everybody, man. Sometimes it just clicks automatically, and sometimes it just takes a little minute, and then now you use that momentum and you move forward, man. Even if it's late in the season, just keep it on with that season, and then now it goes on to years.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a good episode, man. I like this episode. Way to come in. We was cooking this. It was cooking. Way to come back, man. This is a Listen, this is not a casual episode. This is for my diehard football fans, man. So listen, as always, please hit like, subscribe, share this. We are back. Welcome back, Q.
Yo,
let's do this.
Check out the website. Yo, we have merch.
Check out the gear. The merch is
man?
crazy.
Yo, the
we gotta
link.
start wearing the merch on the show.
Yo, the link. I already got it, son. I already got some. I already got some of it. I gotta wear some more.
You know what
I'm gonna wear some more merch and shit. All the other designs. We got some fire stuff out there, and you already know if you're from around this, Eastern Hemisphere, Eastern side of the United States. It's getting a little chilly out here, as Christmas is, coming our way.
Facts.
Santa may gift some of y'all niggas if y'all willing to subscribe more. We might have some contests and y'all just, we might have some fun games coming along. You never know, man. But we need y'all to tune in. Click subscribe. Make sure y'all check out the website. Of course, we're gonna have some new gear up there. More than a reasonable price, man. Trust me, we're not killing y'all like with Nike and Champion. Trust me, but you're gonna have the same type of quality.
Facts.
Right? And that's what we ain't making nothing, man. We do this for the love for y'all to show us love back. Feel me?
Shout out to everybody watch the show. Shout out to the Knicks. We're gonna be on some heavy Knicks shit. And life is good, man. Let's take a shot for everybody out there.
Let's go. Salute.
Salute.
Peace.
See you next week, my brother. Peace.
All right. Peace.